big armada. We have a big fleet heading in that direction. We'll be there pretty soon. So we'll see how that works out.
How long are you willing to wait?
I think a deal can be reached. Well, you have to get in position. We have plenty of time. If you remember Venezuela, we waited around for a while, and we're in no rush. We had very, very good talks today, having to do with Russia, Ukraine. Something could be happening. We likewise had very good talks on Iran. Iran looks like it wants to make a deal very badly. We have to see what that deal is. But I think Iran looks like they want to make a deal very badly, as they should. Last time they decided maybe not to do it, but I think they probably feel differently. We'll see what the deal is. It'll be different than last time. And we have a big armada. We have a big fleet heading in that direction. We'll be there pretty soon. So we'll see how that works out.
Like it's been reached yet. How long are you willing to wait?
I think a deal can be reached. Well, you have to get in position. We have plenty of time. If you remember Venezuela, we waited around for a while, and we're in no rush. We have, very good talks going with Iran. We have very good talks going with Russia and Ukraine. We're doing a lot of good talking, and I think we had the results today were with Iran. It was a meeting. We're going to meet again early next week. And they want to make a deal. Iran, as they should want to make a deal. They know the consequences if they don't. If they don't make a deal, the consequences are very steep. So we'll see what happens. But they had a very good meeting with a very high representative of Iran, and we'll see how it all turns out.
We'll give it a ripe scoop.
See that. By the way, I'd love to see that. If we could do that, I'd love to see it.
Mr. President, is a deal that is acceptable that only covers with Iran? Is there a deal that only covers nuclear that would be acceptable to you? Because they just want to have nuclear. They don't want to have anything else.
Like deal that would be acceptable, but the one thing, and right up front, no nuclear weapons. If we could have made that deal 2 years ago, we would have made that deal, but they weren't willing to do that. Now they are willing to do it. So they're willing to do much more than they would have a year and a half ago, or even a year ago when don't forget, we've only been doing this for exactly 1 year. And we started with them a few months after the beginning of this term. This term has been amazing. But the results could surprise people. If they would have offered this deal originally when we first started, it would have been accepted immediately. We'll see what happens now.
The skies over the Middle East are getting busier, and the timing is no coincidence. As tensions between Washington and Tehran sharpen, the United States is quietly positioning some of its most sensitive military assets closer to Iran's doorstep. A third U.S. Air Force E-11A battlefield communications aircraft has now arrived in the region, touching down at Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia after departing from Crete. These aircraft are not fighters. They are command hubs in the sky, designed to link ships, drones, jets, and ground forces across vast distances, securely and in real time. The most specialized aircraft show up last, according to plane tracking analyst Stephen Watkins, quoted by BBC Verify. That they're here now means they have work to do. And the E-11A is just one piece of a much larger buildup. Satellite imagery analyzed by BBC Verify shows F-15 fighter jets, A-10 ground attack aircraft, and an MQ-9 Reaper combat drone deployed to Jordan. In the waters nearby, a guided missile destroyer has transited from the Mediterranean into the Red Sea. High above the Gulf, U.S. surveillance drones and reconnaissance aircraft are now operating with increasing frequency. Even Europe is feeling the tempo. At Spangdahlem Air Base in Germany, a key NATO hub, U.S. Air Force operations have shifted to 24/7 activity, a rare move, confirmed through intercepted aviation communications. One American transport aircraft heading to Saudi Arabia was told bluntly, the base is open around the clock due to operational demand. At sea, the pressure is just as visible. New footage released by U.S. Central Command shows a crowded and fast-moving flight deck aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln, with jets launching and recovering in a tightly choreographed rhythm, a floating signal of readiness. All of this is unfolding as diplomacy enters a critical phase. In Doha, Jared Kushner and U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff have arrived ahead of planned nuclear talks with Iran in Oman. And from Tehran, Iran's foreign minister Syed Abbas Araghchi has departed for Muscat, leading a delegation for negotiations he describes as serious, principled, and aimed at a fair agreement. Iran insists it has not forgotten past betrayals, sanctions, or military pressure, but says it will not walk away from diplomacy if there is a genuine opportunity to protect national interests and regional stability. So now, two tracks run side by side, a growing U.S. military footprint across the Gulf, and a fragile diplomacy opening behind closed doors. The question hanging over the region is stark. Is this buildup meant to back diplomacy or prepare for what happens if talks fail?